music. Let's go. I'm your boy, Ro, OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys, and welcome to a special edition of Student of the Game Preview. Well, apparently there was an upset in the swamp when the USF Bulls take down the Florida Gators. I don't personally think it's that hard of a place to play these days. But we're playing both of these teams in subsequent weeks, so I said, hey, why not? Over to the film, shall we? And yes, I know there's a box on the screen right now. Remember that box for later. It's going to go away, all right? Bye-bye, box. So, Florida Gators right here, in their 11-set personnel, you got one running back, you got one tight end. They're 2x2, two pass catchers here, two pass catchers here. And similar to the Georgia Tech film from last year, I feel like the Gators offense is trying to do a lot of the same things. They're trying to shift pre-snap. They're trying to motion pre-snap because they're trying to leverage advantage in the numbers game by doing so. In this case, post-snap is where I feel like they get in trouble because they're trying for a play-action pass shot on 3rd and 3, one in which they're trying to sell this jet sweep motion coming across the screen right here. It's coming across the screen, and then they're going to kind of like belly and keep the fake. But I want you to pay attention right here because I think this is where it breaks down. Right here with the tight end and the right tackle, okay? The tight end and the right tackle. As this play starts to unfold, you're going to see that they pinch down. USF is kind of slamming down, and then they're going to bring a linebacker off the edge to come around. Now, I think about the University of Miami matchup because as this play continues to go, and I'm going to get right here, you're seeing something unfold. You asked your tight end to go one-on-one against a defensive end. He's getting beat inside, and that's what essentially blows up this play for the Florida Gators up front. When you ask your tight end, he gets beat inside. I'm thinking against Miami, that's Ruben Bain. So please have a tight end one-on-one against Ruben Bain. And you just watch it unfold just a little bit even more. And you're going to see it right here, right? Running backs here, tight ends here. And then you have 3 offensive linemen against 1 defensive tackle here. I don't know if that's the best utilization of your blocking scheme, blocking style, but that is essentially all it took for the UF quarterback to get off his mark. He gets pressured. Now, to his credit, he's going to go ahead and pick up a first down. Nice little ball fake there. You look like a 1980s NBA guy. But essentially, if you back this up, remember I told you to kind of look at that one box at the beginning of the screen? Yeah, that was this was going to be a big play for the Gators. He's kind of running free. He's wide open at that point. They can't block it up front. USF wins that one at the line of scrimmage, even though they have a coverage bust. Quarterback doesn't see it, and we're off and running, Canes fans. So off the backs of the last clip, yeah, we just said it. The University of Florida offense likes to employ shifts and motions so they can garner the attention of the defense and potentially get them out of position. And do they ever? Right here, you're going to see that the Florida Gators running an RPO, well-designed RPO, I'll give them credit here. Now, once they motion out into the field side, you have a very heavy pass strength. You have potentially 4 pass catching options out there to the field. So what's the response? Well, USF is going to employ what's known as a rotation. They're going to go ahead and take the single high safety. He's going to come down. This defender is going to go ahead and replace the safety, but something else is happening here too, communication-wise. You're going to have like 2 USF Bulls kind of like chase this motion down, and you're going to see this in real time. And when that happens, there you go. You saw the 2-for-1, and now you just see such an open area for the quarterback, UF quarterback, to go ahead and take. Everything was vacant because of that motion and the elicited response from the defense. Now, that's what I can say about that. Now, one other comment, because we're just going to look at the quarterback. It's the quarterback's job to keep the wide receiver safe. You can make the argument for that. I don't think this is a particularly good ball. I think you could have protected him better. That's just me. Now over to the USF offense side of the ball we go, and space is their final frontier, where the UF offense likes to operate with a lot of shifts and motions, and they're okay beating you up inside of a phone book. Operationally, USF doesn't typically operate that way. Off the rip, I want to go ahead and show you right here. Look at the location of the wide receiver 1 to the boundary side. He can essentially high-five his coach. Then you come to the 2 side, and then you're going to see right here, wide receiver 2 to the field. He's +2 outside the hash. So why do they do that? Well, a lot of times it's to create numbers inside, to create the advantage inside, and they have it pre-snap. you're going to see it. A tight end's in line. They're in 11 set personnel, one running back, one tight end. So 6 here, 7 mobile threat quarterback. You have 8. They have 6. Now you have an overhang defender outside the box and a safety, and that's going to be key this week. Playing the USF Bulls style of offense is safeties need to support the run game when they can and be efficient tacklers. Now, nothing simple as far as the play. They're going to go ahead, zone read, keep this, and pick up the first down. He's going to go ahead, bounce this back outside. Nobody's there, right? Nobody's there. So I want to go ahead and back this up and pretty much show you why nobody's there. At the top of the screen, you're going to see this right now. The DB for the Florida Gators is riding his wide receiver out of bounds. Now, when you are touching the sidelines, one of the disadvantages in this system is you cut off half your route tree. All the odd numbers, basically, that push you out, you need the even numbers pushing you in. He's now an ineligible kind of receiver. He can't touch the ball, but you're still kind of like, wrestling him out there. I don't know, maybe throwing a shoe. I don't know what, Florida CBs are doing these days. I would challenge the Miami Hurricane DBs is just utilize that sideline as your friend. Maybe once you ride them out, eyes back to the backfield. Maybe take a step inside. Maybe you cut off that route tree, because trying to get that go ball on the outside when you're just basically stepping on the sideline, I don't know. I think we could do a better job there. I think the University of Miami on offense can similarly exploit the USF defense when they go ahead and show this single high safety, especially when he's deep over the top. Look right here. He's playing a deep center fielder. They're playing cover 3 principles. He's backpedaling. He's already 20 yards pre-snap. Cover 3, what does that mean? You're going to have this third. This DB is going to have this third. And then a lot of times there's other things going on underneath. That's just your coverage shell, your cover 3. Now, USF is going to bring this on a blitz, and that's when I think things kind of fall short for them, because when you have that deep safety playing over the top, you're essentially asking to play 10-man defense. If the play doesn't go deep over the top, because that's what his job is to patrol that deep, you're playing 10-man defense. So that's when you go ahead and take advantage. I like the play by the Florida offense here. They're utilizing exit motion. They're motioning this outside into the field side, and they're running a play action flood. And you're just going to see it materialize for them. Look, there it is. Play action flood, meaning like we're flooding one side of the field. Everybody from one side is coming to this side, and it is wide open in the middle of the field. I mean, you just cannot miss this. This is high school wide open. Anytime I see anything high school wide open, we got to figure out why. But essentially, they caught them in that single high safety look, and they were playing a deep safety. So maybe the University of Miami catches that and tries to work it underneath. So now we've caught this a couple times. University of Florida is going to motion, and when they motion across the screen, there he goes, tight ends coming across the set. That's when the pass strength and rush strength is set heavy to the boundary side. You got 3 pass catching options to the boundary, 1 down here, run option also to the top of the screen. And then this is just too enticing for the Florida quarterback, and you just see this one-on-one with an inside release give. And it's just going to be easy pitch and catch slant. Does a better job here on this slant ball to keep his wide receiver protected. Ball comes out. So playing the Florida Gators, just got to watch that one side every time they go pass strength heavy the other way. And then against USF, maybe you can utilize that slant underneath, because obviously they've given it to the Florida Gators a couple times. So on this 3rd and 9, the University of Florida defense is going to do its job and bottle up the quarterback and force a punt situation. On the back end, you see University of Florida in quarters coverage, where all 4 of those boxes, for its namesake, are responsible to cover a quarter of their field. USF is in an ace gun 2x2 look. They're trying to run mesh crossers from both sides of the field. Now, in this case, I think the University of Miami will, and you'll see them employ similar tactics. And we're going to go ahead and focus right here. It's going to be right here. Now, initially, they're all at the line of scrimmage. This kind of constitutes kind of like a simulated pressure look. You see the USF center right here. He's pointing, who's coming, who's not coming, okay. But right there, he's going to break off into a spiral. You see him. He's not engaging. Eyes on the quarterback. He's not engaging. And once the quarterback gets flushed, he's just going to go ahead and make enough of the play, track that down from behind, force it out of bounds, force them into a punting situation. Those 3rd down passing downs, when a quarterback picks that up with his feet, it could be backbreaking. That is something similar that the Miami Hurricanes can do against USF. Oh my goodness, USF. Again, I mean, here's the safety. Again, cover 3. There it is. There it is. Okay. And again, just this flood concept right here. I'm at a loss. I mean, this is one time is once too many, and now you have so many open areas. Miami USF wants to live in that single high safety set. I think you need to make them pay because this is just too high school wide open both times. Wow. Okay, when you do film review for a little bit, this guy right here, he does not want to tackle. Does not want to tackle. Keep your eyes on him. Okay? Doesn't want to tackle. The other thing you have to contend with is when the University of South Florida goes tempo. When they use tempo on their offense, they're trying to get you a step behind. That's exactly what happens here. University of Florida lines up late. Here comes the give. It's going to bounce. Now, here's the situation. And I said it. One of the big keys when you play a style like this, USF, a Baylor derivative, right, using tempo, touching sidelines, creates a lot of space. You need a safety eraser because they're going to have plays that's going to bust. So you need to be able to keep the play here, okay? That's a 5-yard gain, but you get shook out of your shoes and it becomes a lot more. So University of Miami, you're going to have to erase the play. That's going to be one of my keys this week. Can't have that happen because that doesn't look particularly good on film. We have the Great Wall of Mirror Ball. On this particular play, the University of Florida Gators, they have like a fence. So it's 3rd and 12. In this case, you're going to see, teams can get creative, bring a little exotic element to it. This is a good down and distance to do it. You see 7 in-the-box defenders, but you see a heavy plethora of Bulls up into the boundary. So when you see that, offensive line needs to talk because they have to ask the question of all questions. What if everybody comes? So it elicits a response. And what's the response? They're going to utilize slide protection. Everybody's going to go ahead and fan off to their respective right on the offensive line. They're going to ask the running back to go to his respective left. So that's what happens. But here's the problem. They bunch up a little bit too much. Left tackle gets a little bit, sucked inside too much, and they still get home. It's still 3 versus 5 in that element, and USF is going to go ahead and chase him off his spot, wrap him up for the sack. And that's something University of Miami needs to pay attention to if they show a similar look, because I think they can get that handled. Now, I want to back this up in terms of the quarterback play because I'm thoroughly confused because, homeboy, you can't get more open than that. So, wow. All right. I think on this clip, both sides of the ball are kind of bad. It's just that USF is a little bit more lucky being bad. I don't know. The tempo, University of Miami Hurricanes, you can't be victimized similar to the Gators here on the tempo. They're confused, getting people off the field. You actually see a Florida Gator player. It looks like he's trying to call a timeout. And right here, that's their bad. But the ball, it's just one of those things as a quarterback. Sometimes you're short. He's losing sight of the safety too. Safety already has his hips, so this is a 2-for-1 ball. I don't care what you say. It's 2-for-1. You're throwing this into harm's way. It just happens to be short. He got lucky that the ball was short, and next thing you know, they break it for a big play. So both teams not particularly good. It's just that USF had a good result. USF running a simple RPO, one in which it's a pre-snap element. You're going to see here at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a lot of cushion, right? This is the cushion right here. Simple, they have the opportunity to go ahead and give this offense a run, but when you see this much cushion, you're going to go ahead and take it, and that's just what they do. You're going to see it. There it is. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But I do have a question. I've seen some rather confusing things on this film today. But right here, this defender right here is you tell me in the comments below, is he in a good position to go ahead and jump? I just feel like he's not even close. Like he's jumping. I don't think that was particular close. I don't know. You tell me. And this is going to be the last clip of the evening. No real commentary needed. It's just to go ahead and enjoy another Grammatica. How many do they have? And it's just some more Gator tears. your USF Bulls would beat the University of Florida Gators 18-16. I'm your boy Ro, OG member of the Orange Bowl boys. Stay safe, my friends. Bang.